thought I was going to do. But, well, all right. We're going to start with the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is interesting. I'll be the first one to admit it. I think the Los Angeles Lakers are a team that you sit here and they're somewhat at a crossroads. LeBron James was willing to take up to $20 million less. And we know DeMar DeRozan might take a pay cut this season. He said he won't do the mid-level exception, so they would have to shred salary to get him, but that he would take less money to do a one-year, basically prove a deal and re-enter free agency next year when teams have more money next season. But at this point, what do we do if you're the Los Angeles Lakers? I think this is interesting. As the Lakers, we know DeRozan, as I mentioned, is a California native and has been linked for a homecoming, and they've had exploratory interest. We know the Miami Heat and DeMar DeRozan also have mutual interest. That one just I just don't see the Heat. The Heat never do stuff like that. So look, and we know the Clippers are looking at that, but they spent all their money that they would have done it. So as of right now, we see that Jeremy Grant is another person who's represented by Clutch Sport. Shot 40% from three last year, had just under 21 points. He can guard all four positions and arguably play the 2, 3, and 4 if you needed to. They have the $18.7 million in D'Angelo Russell that they could trade. So the thought is a sign and trade isn't going to work for DeMar DeRozan. It's going to be quite hard. It require them to give up a lot of players. I mean, I believe just to do the trade, it would have to be Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and D'Angelo Russell for DeMar DeRozan, and he's taking a pay cut, and it's a one-year deal. I feel like that's a robbery. So if they can't get anybody, they're going to go ahead and LeBron's going to take the max. I personally think that is a travesty if that's how this free agency plays out, when you had a guy who hasn't taken a pay cut since the year he went to Miami, and he was saying, I'll do it this year. You had Klay Thompson. You had who else? You had DeMar DeRozan. I mean, at this point, does LeBron want Miles Bridges? Can we work out Miles Bridges? I don't see if, and I don't think Contavious Caldwell Pope was on that list. So I just think Miles Bridges is the only guy who was like a 20 points per game scorer in free agency, who's able to play multiple positions, play some defense, and can actually be like the third guy next to these two dudes. Buddy Hield, at this point, could you convince LeBron and say, look, we know we'll trade D'Angelo Russell to would you trade D'Angelo Russell and Gabe? What if you say D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and a first round pick for Jeremy Grant, and then you go into free agency and you ask him, would you still take that pay cut? And we try to bring in a combination of Buddy Hield and then some defense, maybe an Isaac Okoro or I don't think you should bring in Betts. I think I want to bring back Taurean Prince. Lonnie Walker would be a cool guy. After that, Kyle Lowry, Pat Bev. I mean, Pat Bev didn't really work when there, but Jetty Osman, somebody, a Daniel Tice, Simone Fontecchio are all people that I think they need to be considering. Just feels like they just let this one slip through their fingers. What do I know, though? I don't run the organization.